Well, welcome everybody back to the Flying Doghouse. Truth in Advertising. This is take two. For some reason, when I was recording this video, I had the Kodiak 100 stuck in my head and labeled the video and created some thumbnails with the wrong aircraft reference. So just want to start with a straight up shout out to Glenn, who is one of our subscribers on the Flying Doghouse channel. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. This won't be the first nor the last. So at any rate, thanks for the shout out. So today's video is really about taking a cross-country trip from Concord Regional Airport, which is Kilo Juliet, Quebec Foxtrot, over to Asheville to Kilo Alpha Victor Lima. And we're having some winter weather here in the Carolinas. And as of this re-recording, we're actually now getting some of the snow that I was talking about in the video. So the winter weather has started. Truth in Advertising, there isn't any snow in the flight. This is part two of this video. So what we are going to do, I'm going to republish, and when you come back into the video, we're going to be sitting at the end of the runway in Concord Regional, waiting to take off in the delightful and fun to fly Cessna 208B Caravan. So there you have it. I'm going to switch over to our transition panel here. So we'll be back in a little while later. I'm glad I didn't have a little longer nap. So again, Glenn, thank you very much. I appreciate it, buddy. All right, so we'll be back here in just a minute, and we'll pick up with the rest of the video. Parking brake off. Here we go. And we're on our takeoff roll. Airspeed is alive. And we're up. So this will be a quick flight. We're supposed to have snow today, so we'll probably run into snow on our way over. Flaps coming up. And we'll go ahead and start making our turn off of runway heading here. And we do have live weather on, so this is pretty much what we're experiencing right now. All right, let's jump outside. Here we go. Yeah, I'm expecting this to be a bit bumpy. We've got winds at 268.9 knots. And it's quite chilly here. Like 27 or 28 degrees. And this weather system that's moving through is coming from out of the Gulf of Mexico. And when we have Gulf moisture and then cold air in place here in the Carolinas. Usually what we end up with is, at least in the Piedmont section, the middle part of the state, we'll end up with sleet and freezing rain. So they're calling for a few inches of snow and then it changing over like it usually does to sleet or freezing rain. Given the choice, I'll take sleet any day. Than the freezing rain mess, because it causes power outages here. Alright. So far so good on the Kodiak. It seems to be responding. I am going to do some experimenting here with the throttle. I was having issues with that on the group flight. We'll see what happens if I go back to idle. It does appear to be responding today. Alright, let's get ourselves back on course here. And right off our nose here is Lake Norman, the man-made water reservoir for the Charlotte metro area here. And we can get ourselves some autopilot stuff set up here. So let's go to 7,000 feet altitude. Alright, so we'll drop ourselves down to 7,000 feet. And we'll set our heading for about 277 degrees. And we can enjoy the scenery while we can see. And this is the first flight I have recorded in 2024 over Lake Norman. And this looks quite good. Being a bit naughty. There's a restricted airspace here. There. Make our way toward Asheville. Yeah, the weather conditions this morning so far are not as bad as I had anticipated. It's still early. Our precip is supposed to move in later this afternoon, so we may just have a an overcast flight here. Well, that's all good. So over on Virtual Flight Online, there's a number of tours that you can do. And one of the ones that I have worked on is tour around Papua New Guinea. And this Kodiak 100 is perfect for that. This is one of my general aviation faves in the sim. It's quite good. It's payware. So this Kodiak 100 also has a thrust reverse feature, so it will stop quite short. So it's a good bush flying choice. And if you want some good live aviation video or real world video shots of this aircraft in action, you might want to check out Missionary Bush Pilot's YouTube channel. It's quite good. He's an excellent aviator. And if this is one of your favorite aircraft, then I'm sure you will learn something from watching him operate in and out of those short airfields in Papua New Guinea. Certainly has helped me out. Let's jump back inside the plane here. Mix it up a little. So one of the features I do like in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is using the tab key to pop the electronic flight bag tablet up on the screen. It's quite nice. And if you haven't used this, I encourage you to explore. It's quite good. Let's see what we got going on here. Our gauges are in good shape. We're about 68 miles out. I think this is going to be remarkably uneventful. I'd be really interested to hear what you think in the comments below about aircraft add-on developers putting all this stuff on the windscreens. I'm reaching for my paper towel and my Windex to get rid of that, except I can't get rid of it. I mean, the interior, texturing and that kind of stuff really doesn't bother me, or, scratches and stuff, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm a little obsessive compulsive. And for those of you who are subscribers on the channel, I would just mention to you that part 3 of our series on Flightsim.to freeware should be available in the next day or so. As long as we don't lose power from our impending winter storm here, we should be in good shape. Hope that y'all have enjoyed the first 2 in the series. If you haven't watched them yet, or you're brand new to the channel, this is the first video you've watched. We have done 2 for freeware on Flightsim.to, so we picked our favorites in air quotes here for 2024. We tried to pick some utilities and aircraft and airfields and performance mods that we have found to be enjoyable sometime during the year in 2024, whether it was newly released or we just discovered it. So the 2 that are already published, there's one on airfields, so I picked a variety of different kinds of places to fly into and out of, and then we took a look at some aircraft that may be of interest to you. So we'll probably end up doing the same in terms of putting together a favorites for payware, and we can sort those by category. It's really hard for me to do a top 5 list because I do enjoy flying different kinds of planes, so that leads you to different kinds of categories, and we'll see. If you're interested in a video series on our favorite payware, let me know in the comments. And if you are enjoying the videos, we would invite you to like and subscribe and hit that good old notification bell. I think as of this recording, we're up to 165 subscribers. The goal was 1,000 and beyond. Any rate, the other thing that I would want to specifically mention is I do use the community tab. So if you're not in the habit of checking that on channels, if you're on the Flying Doghouse, check it out. I try to preview things and polls and such. A few screenies here and there, just to keep things interesting. Just kind of share some of the flight sim shenanigans. Yeah, and we're getting into a little bit of broken sunshine here. I was curious. Alright, back inside. Well, if we don't encounter any bad weather, and it doesn't look like we're going to, what I'll do is we'll land and taxi in Asheville, and I will wait a bit, and then we can do part 2. And I'll make a return leg back to my hometown airfield. Of course, I guess I could just cheat and change the weather settings to snow, but that's no fun. Well, it is, but it's really not what I was after today in terms of experience. So for the Kodiak, and there's a specific startup sequence for this too. This being turbo, you can definitely blow this up. So follow your checklist. I might do a cold and dark. There are plenty of videos out on YouTube about this particular airframe. But if you tell me in the comments that you'd like for us to do one, then we'll put it in the queue. We've got backup analog gauges here, airspeed, altitude, and our artificial horizon. The rest of this is just standard stuff in terms of our Garmin gear. And this area is still recovering from Hurricane Helene. So we do have residents in the western part of North Carolina that are unfortunately surviving in tents, but emergency shelters have been being built and delivered, and definitely those folks need our support. So you don't think about torrential hurricane flooding in a mountain setting, but there was over 40 inches of rain from the hurricane. So if you're interested in learning more about that, then there's plenty of opportunities on Google to do that. Do a Google search on Hurricane Helene and Asheville and learn more if you're interested. And there's lots of cool stuff here in the EFB tablet. Configuration choices and fuel and those kinds of fun things. And the EFB is the way that you can get to your checklist quickly. You click on aircraft and then on checklist. You can pop that up. So just good reminders here in terms of aviation practice. Easy to navigate. The lookout feature here works well. But at any rate, just encourage you to have a peek at that. Alright, so keyboard shortcut again for that is tab key to pop it up onto the screen and then back into the mounting clip. Alright, we're at about 6,900 feet. And how far out are we? We're 40.8 nautical miles out, so get our altitude down here. So let's drop down to about 5,000 feet. And we'll go with about 800 on vertical speed. Yeah, we're just kind of moving along at a comfortable 157 miles an hour here. And I'm also using a little nav map, and our ground speed is about 170. And winds are primarily out of 245 degrees at 11 knots. So we're to within 1,000 feet of our target altitude here. Right off our nose, probably about 15 miles out, is Lake Lure, which was very much devastated by the hurricane. But other fun fact about Lake Lure is that part of Dirty Dancing, the movie, was filmed there. We have quite a few Hollywood projects that get filmed in the Carolinas, believe it or not. So there you go. Wouldn't be a flying doghouse flight without at least a little bit of local trivia if we're local. So we're actually coming up on a VOR that's really an intersection point for some airways here in western North Carolina. So we're slightly to the east of Chimney Rock, which is a state park here in the Carolinas. All right, let's jump back outside the plane again. Here we go. And if you're not familiar with this geography, this is the Blue Ridge Mountains in front of us. There's quite a bit to do here in the Asheville area. Lots of waterfalls. So if you enjoy hiking and biking, it's a great place. Start making our turn. And we'll use runway 35 at Asheville. I do have family that lives in this area. It's any time of year you pick to come here is just gorgeous. There's Lake Lure off our wing here. And it does look like we're coming up on a little bit of precip. I do have, since it's a cold winter day, I do have our pitot heat on and got on some anti-icing here. I guess another fun fact here is that Asheville is the home of the largest private residence in North America. It's the Biltmore House. It is beautiful. I may drop a link in the description below to help those folks out with driving some tourism traffic. The area in or around the Biltmore House, not the house itself, particularly downtown Asheville and the art district, was absolutely devastated by, again, the hurricane. But you can do tours of the house. The house is absolutely huge and was well ahead of its time when it was constructed. But we'll leave that there. What are we doing here? I need to make our turn again back toward the airfield. Almost down into Hendersonville, which is a small community near Asheville. And we're probably about 4 miles or so from the start of the ILS feathers here, so we'll get ourselves turned in. There's the nav aid that I was mentioning, and the compass wheel at the top of the screen. SUG. There's some fun little private airstrips here too. We did a group flight in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 last year, which I am planning on doing a reprise in 2024 just to see what they've cooked up in terms of scenery updates for those particular airfields. So we'll check that out. I'm not going to use ILS, but ILS's frequency is 110.50. Looks like now we're running into this more mucky muck. Okay, autopilot now coming off. Back inside the bird. Okay. Let's see what happens to our avionics here. Flight director still on. There we go. And we are coming up on the French Broad and the Davidson Rivers. Tailwind of about 7 knots coming in on runway 35. So we're going to enter a downwind here for 17. And we'll do a left-hand circuit. They are continuing to make investment and improvements into the airport here at Asheville. Every time we come up here, there's something being added or updated. Yeah, 10 years ago, the airport looked like a bus station, and now it's been updated and modernized, and they continue to add facilities. And as you can imagine, this airport was used by our National Guard folks for food and supplies and water and all that fun stuff during recovery efforts too. So, at any rate, this is the French Broad River to our 11 o'clock. And it's amazing that the airport proper did not suffer major damage. It was very lucky. Of course, it also sits up on a bit of a knoll above the river basin, so other communities in the area not quite so lucky. Just a little bit further here, and then we'll turn to base. We'll have a short base to final. I think we've got a rainbow going on. All right, we'll come off our throttle. Get ourselves down into flaps deployment speeds here. Alright, so we've got 8 degrees of flap. We can go ahead and start to make our turn here for finals. I think we're far enough out. Yeah, there we go, overshot a little bit. That's okay. Alright, now we got flaps 2. And we've got now a quartering headwind of about 6 knots. Alright, so we'll get ourselves situated here. We're still a little high. Flaps 3. Flaps 4. Here we go. Catch the center line. We'll make our way down here nice and gentle. Get on the brakes. All right. And we can finish our taxing. And we'll just assume we've already done all our fun things in terms of talking to ground, yada yada yada. No need to beat me up in the comment section. Okay. Put it right here next to these two. There we go. So this is the payware version of Asheville's airport. Let me go ahead and shut everything down here. And we'll jump out of the plane and have a walk around. All right. I don't want to do that.
TOS system test. Okay.
All right, there we go. Got ourselves shut down here, so a little shift C out of the plane. Have a little bit of a walkabout. Here at the terminal in Asheville. I'll walk over here and see if any of these fine folks are passengers. Again, this is a payware version of Asheville. All right, looks like these folks are hanging out in cargo. Yeah, we'll just walk around a little bit. This will be fun. Haven't done this here. Lots of different kinds of planes on the ground. Quite a few ATRs and Airbus operate here. There you go. Hopefully that gives you a good idea of what the airport customization looks like. It's well done. All right, we'll make our way back over to the airplane. All right, depending on weather, I may jump back in and fly back from Asheville back to Concord Regional later today once the live weather makes an appearance. Okay, folks, thanks for watching the video today. It's been fun to have a look at the Cessna 208B. The Caravan's a very fine aircraft, as is the Kodiak 100. So yes, there is going to be a reference in the video about missionary sim pilot, and he does fly the Kodiak 100. So at any rate, not sure why I had that locked in my brain. What I have decided to do, now that I've had the opportunity to edit the intro, I think what we'll do tomorrow is I may just record a return flight from Asheville. We may go back to Concord. We may go someplace else. But there'll be some snow on the ground, so that'll be kind of cool. So, at any rate, hope everybody's keeping well. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate all of the subscribers on the channel and anyone who's watching the video who isn't a subscriber. But go ahead and mash that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you can see when we publish new content. Again, stay warm, stay dry, stay safe. Hope everybody is keeping well. Until next time, cheers, y'all.